Right. Bismillah. Good morning. Morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Doctor.
Morning. Let me just on this. Right. Today we're going to have tenses. Do tenses make you tense? Do tenses make you tense?
Yes, Doctor, sometimes.
Sometimes they do, yes?
Yes.
Right. Now, mastering tenses is the crux, of syntax. It reflects positively on the four skills, and it reflects positively on translation competence. So yesterday I was watching a news bulletin, and a professional translator translated a sentence like somebody said the American President Biden, Mr. Biden, said that it was imperative to restore relations with Saudi Arabia. Now, how this was translated is like this. وصرح الرئيس الأمريكي بأن إعادة العلاقات مع المملكة العربية السعودية كان ضروريا. How far is that accurate, you think? He said that restoring relations with Saudi Arabia was imperative. So how would you translate this? Was necessary, that is. Imperative means necessary.
May I, Doctor?
Yes, sure.
كان من الضروري إعادة علاقات مع السعودية دكتور أو قال الرئيس الأمريكي جو بايدن.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have another sentence. The foreign secretary said that the foreign minister, British Secretary of State, the foreign minister said that he would hold a press conference.
May I?
Yeah, sure.
سيعقد وزير الخارجية مؤتمرا دكتور.
Somebody said that the foreign minister will hold a press conference, would hold a press conference.
قال أحدهم دكتور سيعقد وزير الخارجية مؤتمرا صحفيا.
إنه سيعقد. That's right. So would here does not mean the past, yes? Okay, let's have another sentence.
No, Doctor.
Okay, let's have another sentence. he said that the student was absent. He said that the student was absent.
هو قال بأن الطالب كان غائبا.
كان غائبا ولا إنه غائب؟ أن الطالب غائب.
He was absent, not he is absent.
Yeah, but in reported speech, as you know, in English we're going to have reported speech. I mean, that's one of the chapters here. In English, simple past goes to past. Present continuous goes to past continuous. Present perfect goes to past perfect. That's in English. In Arabic, we say قال إنه غائب. He said that he was absent would be rendered in Arabic as قال إنه غائب. So anyway, this is just the type of errors, mistranslations, professional translators commit. So how many tenses are there in English?
There are 12 tenses, Doctor.
There are 12 tenses. And how many tenses are there in Arabic?
3.
Don't tell me that we have only 3. Yeah, this is commonly held belief that Arabic has only 3 tenses. Poor Arabic. It has only 3 parts of speech. It has only 3 vowels. We are fond of the Trinity, 3. I mean, using 3. Why? I don't know. Does Arabic really have only 3 tenses? I mean, how could we translate English tenses? I mean, if Arabic has only 3. Yeah, of course. I mean, this is what Ahmed said is commonly believed in all academic circles. I mean, in schools, at university level, PhD holders, university professors. I mean, they all teach. We are told that Arabic has 3 parts of speech, that it has 3 tenses, that it has only 3 vowels, things of the sort, I mean, these are all misconceptions about the structure of Arabic. So it's our job to rectify the situation by investigating Arabic in light of modern linguistic research, because non-Arabs, I mean, Western or Orientalists in general, get a distorted image, and some of them, of course, do that deliberately. They quote Arab grammarians, statements of Arab grammarians a millennium years ago. A millennium, I'm sure. I mean, such views were held a millennium years ago, 1,000 years ago, and we haven't done the least to introduce amendments, not to the language or the structure of the language, but the way language was looked at 1,000 years ago. Okay, now English has just a minute. Okay. Now, we have 4 tenses in the present. 4 tenses in the present. So we have present simple tense, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. You see, present simple present, or present simple, present continuous, or progressive. Sometimes they use progressive, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. So 4 tenses in the present. Then we have past simple tense, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. We have simple future, or future simple, future continuous, future perfect, and add future perfect continuous. So this makes 12 tenses. According to the previous classification of English tenses 1,000 years ago, English had only 2 tenses or 3 tenses: present, past, future. Yeah. What makes a tense? What are the components of the tense?
The structure of the verb, Doctor.
I mean the components. I mean, what does the tense consist of? What does it comprise? What does it consist of?
الفون.
Verb, Doctor.
We have subject. It must have a verb. There is a subject. A subject. All sentences have. I mean, in the affirmative, of course, all sentences have a subject. All sentences have verbs. There are no verbless sentences in English, of course. And there must be a time indicator or time marker. Every tense has a number of time indicators, words that are used with the tense to show whether it's present continuous, past continuous, past perfect, future perfect. So in case of the present simple tense, we have words like time indicators or markers like always, sometimes, usually, often, every Saturday, every day, habits, that is. So each tense has certain markers. This is how that's the only way to use tenses properly. So, for instance, we can have a sentence like, I mean, the verb I, for instance, go, I go. We can say I went, and we can say I have gone, I had gone, I'll go. Now, can we say I've gone shopping 4 hours ago? Is that okay? Is that acceptable?
Again, Doctor.
I've gone shopping, or he has he has gone shopping 4 hours ago.
I
No,
guess yes.
doctor.
Is that acceptable?
No.
No, لأنه في ago.
Yeah, okay, good.
Should be had.
Pardon me.
It should be had, not had or have.
No, doctor. I went.
I went. Why is it went? Not has gone.
لأنه الزمن محدد قبل 4 ساعات.
Yeah, because of ago. With ago. Ago is a time indicator of the of the past simple tense, not of the present perfect. In other words, the word ago does not occur when we have present present perfect. So we can say I have been to Britain. I have been to Britain. That's okay. But I visited Britain 2 years ago. So words like always, sometimes, often, every are used with the present simple tense. Now, what tense would we use with words like while, look, listen, now?
Continuous.
Present.
Look,
Progressive.
when we say look, listen.
Imperative.
No, I mean, what tense follows such words?
Look.
Present.
Present
Progressive.
Present continuous. Look, it's raining.
Yes.
Listen, the baby is crying. How about while?
Past continuous.
Past continuous. Yeah, past continuous. Okay. What would you use by the end of the year? For instance, we have somebody is expected to graduate by the end of the year. So what do we say? What tense?
Future.
Future
What
perfect.
future? What future? Yes. Yeah, it is
Future.
future. but what future?
Simple future.
We have 4 futures.
Future perfect, doctor.
Yeah, we use future perfect.
Yes.
He will have graduated by the end of the year. How do you translate this into Arabic?
سيكون قد تخرج في نهاية
Yeah,
العام.
that's it. سيكون قد تخرج. قد تخرج. Okay. لقد تخرج. What tense is this?
Present perfect.
Present perfect.
Present perfect. Yeah. What makes it perfect in Arabic?
There is no time indicators.
قد. قد is an auxiliary, isn't it? Yeah. The problem is that Arab grammarians assume that Arabic has no auxiliaries. It has no auxiliaries. I mean, they are to blame for their classification, and we are to blame for not reconsidering, such classifications. Yeah. So we have present simple tense. Now it has subject verb. With the third person singular, we use he. We add either s or es to the verb. So we have subject verb. She plays. It plays. It means. Many students, I don't know why they keep saying it means that. Now that sentence, that pattern doesn't exist in English. That this is means. It's subject verb without is, or its means. Sometimes they say, they write and say it means that. It means. It's subject verb. Yeah. Then we have the pasts. Okay, let's stick to the present first. Present simple tense. Present continuous. Now, what makes it continue? What makes it present?
I am. The am, Doctor, playing.
Using the auxiliaries. Am, is, are. Am,
Yes.
is, are.
Yes.
Verb to be in the present. Am, is, are. Am, is, are. Present continuous. Why is it present? Because of verb to be in the present form. Why is it continuous? Because of the ing form. So I am playing. We can't produce sentences like I playing or he shouting. So the first step in mastering tenses is to learn the structure, the components of the tense. The second step would be how to use the tense. What time indicators are used? What clues do we have to use the tense?
Right now?
Sorry?
Right now, Doctor?
No, I'm saying in order to master tenses, first, we need to come to grips with the structure, the components of the tense. So the first tense has subject verb. Second tense has subject auxiliary verb with ing form. The third has verb to have as an auxiliary. Now, what is the difference between an auxiliary and why do we call it auxiliary? We often say helping verbs. How do they help? How do helping verbs help? In what way?
May I, Doctor?
In negative.
Yes, sure.
To determine the tense.
To determine the tense. That's number
Yes.
one. Yeah, okay. They determine the tense. In other words, what is the difference between I'm playing and I was playing? I is the same, the subject is the same, the verbal form is the same. Yeah, they differ only in am and was. This is exactly what makes the difference. So they're determined tenses and they're determined subjects. So if we have am as an auxiliary, we can tell that the subject is I. If we have is, then it's a third person singular. If we have the verb have as an auxiliary, it means that it's not a third person singular. See, so this is one thing. I mean, first, they determine tenses. They help determine tenses. Two, they show subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement. What's the difference between an auxiliary and the main verb? Or in other words, how can we tell whether a certain verb is an auxiliary or a main verb?
Doctor, I guess the auxiliary verb it shows, Doctor, the tense
No, I mean, how can we recognize, how can we tell that that a certain element is an auxiliary, not a main verb?
The main verb have a meaning.
They don't have a meaning?
Have a meaning. So the main verb tell us what the action is. But the auxiliary tell us the tense, not the meaning.
Yeah. Which comes first, a main verb or an auxiliary?
Auxiliary.
An auxiliary comes first, followed. The main verb is always the last verb in a sentence. And we can, I mean, of course, auxiliaries function as auxiliaries if they are added to the main verb. So if an auxiliary, if is, verb to be, verb to have, verb to do, if they are used alone in a sentence, then they are not auxiliaries anymore. They are main verbs. So when we say he's watching TV, is here is an auxiliary because there is a main verb, watching. But if we say he's absent today, then is a main verb. So auxiliaries function as auxiliaries only when there is another verb in the sentence. Okay. So auxiliaries are verb to be. Verb to be has 8 forms. It has 8 forms. 8 forms, which are am, is, are in the present continuous, that is. Was, were in the past continuous. Been in present perfect continuous, for instance, or present perfect. We have been, we have being. So when we say the report is being typed, what does that mean? How would you translate this into Arabic?
It's under, Doctor.
Sorry?
It is under the process of typing.
How would you translate it?
التقرير يكتب دكتور.
يطبع, you mean?
يطبع.
Okay. Or now, how would you capture the difference between the report? The report is typed and is being typed.
Is being typed is not active, Doctor. It's passive.
Okay, so what is the difference in meaning? How would you render each?
دكتور السلسلة طبع مطبوع دكتور.
Sorry?
The report is typed. التقرير مطبوع دكتور انه تم طباعته.
يطبع يعني is typed.
يعني الريبورت مطبوع is typed.
مطبوع, okay, right. Is being typed.
انه الريبورت يطبع, انه حاليا يطبع, انه it's under the process as Ahmed said.
يعني قيد الطباعة.
Exactly.
Yeah, we say قيد الطباعة. Yeah, قيد الطباعة. The road is under construction.
قيد الإنشاء الطريق أو طريق قيد الإنشاء.
قيد الإنشاء, not تحت الإنشاء. Yeah, they usually write تحت الإنشاء because of under, negative transfer. The conference is held under the patronage of His Majesty, for instance. The
The what,
conference,
Doctor?
the conference is held under the patronage of His Majesty.
Can you Doctor spell the patronage?
Patronage. Patronage. Patronage means رعاية.
رعاية دكتور. نعم.
Yeah, so what do we say? How do you translate it? Yeah, okay. The conference is held under the patronage of His Majesty.
يعقد المؤتمر تحت رعاية جلالته.
Yeah. Is it تحت رعاية ولا برعاية؟
برعاية.
Yeah.
برعاية.
تحت رعاية is negative transfer from English.
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah. Now, do we say the sun rises from the east? Is that okay? The sun rises from the east. Is that okay? Is that acceptable?
No, Doctor.
Yeah, in English, they say the sun rises in the east, not from.
Yes.
So in English, they say under the patronage of. In Arabic, we say برعاية. Under construction, not تحت الإنشاء. قيد الإنشاء. قيد الطباعة is being typed. Okay. And of course, we have verb to have. So verb to be, verb to have, and verb to do. These are used as auxiliaries in the affirmative, negative, interrogative, and passive voice. So they are used with all transformations, except for a few cases, which we'll tackle later on. Right. So let's just translate the first sentence of each one of these. Who'd like to start? Dina. I play.
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah, okay. I play. Just translate this.
I play. أنا ألعب.
أنا ألعب. Do we need to use أنا?
No, we can say ألعب.
Yeah, in English, it's obligatory to maintain the subject, while in Arabic, it's obligatory to delete it. There is no need to say أنا ألعب, because ألعب means أنا, because of the alif, of the prefix. ألعب. نلعب, for instance, we. يلعبن, هن, they, masculine, plural. Okay. Next, somebody else. I played. لعبت, yes. Okay. They, feminine, plural, played. لعبنا.
لعبنا.
With noon and niswa, yes, without hunna. Okay. The cats played.
لعبت القطط.
Okay, لعبت. Okay. Okay, I'm playing.
أنا ألعب.
ألعب.
Playing. Okay. I was playing.
كنت ألعب.
كنت ألعب.
إذن في يعني كنت is used in Arabic as an auxiliary. Yeah? كنت ألعب.
Yes.
كنت ألعب. So we have ألعب and كنت. كنت ألعب is an auxiliary. So this means that Arabic does have auxiliaries and does have past continuous. Okay, present perfect. I have played.
لقد لعبت.
قد لعبت, yes, or قد لعبت. Okay. Past perfect. I had played.
لقد لعبت.
ما في فرق بين present perfect and past perfect?
كنت قد
إيه.
لعبت.
كنت
أنا
أنا
كنت قد لعبت.
كنت قد لعبت. كنت قد لعبت. So قد لعبت is present perfect. كنت قد لعبت is past perfect. Present perfect continuous.
كنت ألعب. I have been playing. كنت
It's
قد ألعب.
present. It's present.
ما زلت
زلت ألعب.
Don't have كان
كنت
or كنت in the
كنت
present.
ما زلت ألعب.
ما زلت ألعب.
كنت ما زلت ألعب. هذا
لا،
عنوان
ما
رواية.
زلت.
ما زلت ألعب.
كنت.
ما زلت ألعب. ما زلت ألعب. ما زلت ألعب. Present perfect continuous.
كنت.
Yeah, present perfect continuous would be ما زلت ألعب. Now, how would you translate? I've learned Spanish, and I have been learning Spanish.
دكتور I have learned تعلمت الإسبانية دكتور.
قد تعلمت.
لا قد تعلمت الإسبانية.
لقد تعلمت الإسبانية.
And I have been learning.
لا أزال
ما
أتعلم
زلت أتعلم.
لا هو في فرق بين ما أزال ما زلت ما زلت
ما زلت.
ما زلت أتعلم الألماني الإسباني. Yeah. Where's the future? Let's have the future. Yeah. Simple future first, or future simple. You will play. Yeah. سوف تلعب. Okay. He will be playing.
سوف يلعب.
He will be.
ستكون تلعب. سيكون يلعب.
سيكون لاعبا. سيكون لاعبا. Yeah. He will have played.
سيكون قد لعب.
قد لعب. That's it. And he will have been playing.
سيكون قد لعب.
سيكون
ما زال يلعب.
سيكون ما زال يلعب. By the way, there's a difference in Arabic between ما زال and لا زال. ما زال is present perfect continuous. لا زال is a prayer, a supplication. You pray for someone to continue doing something good.